Hey guys, and welcome back. Oh yeah, I was in the middle of doing this quest, wasn't I? Okay, so let's quickly finish this then. Well, I say quickly, but I don't know how long this is going to take. Oh no. Oh.
Daniel, can you hear me?
Oh, he doesn't look well.
Cassandra, it is you.
He's had better days.
You're alive.
As are you. I'm so glad I found you.
No, they put a demon inside me. It's tearing me up.
What? You can't be possessed. That's impossible.
I'm not possessed. They fed me things. I can feel it growing.
That's disgusting.
What could they hope to gain from this?
Our powers, revenge, who knows?
The Lord Seeker. You have to find him.
Of course we'll find him. If he lives, we'll...
Lucius betrayed us, Cassandra. He sent us here, one by one. An important mission, he said. Lies. He was here with them all along. He's still working with them.
But we met Lord Seeker Lucius in Val Royeaux. He couldn't have been here.
That wasn't him. It was a demon, masquerading.
What? How could that be?
The Lord Seeker allowed it. He let the demon take command while he...
Came here.
Cassandra.
Now is not the time for sympathy.
Wait! Don't leave me like this, please!
You should have come with me. You didn't believe in the war any more than I did.
You know me. I wanted that promotion.
Go to the Maker's side, Daniel. You will be welcome.
I try and help him. And even though there's a demon, surely someone could take that thing out.
He was my apprentice. I have never known a finer young man. Now we find Lord Seeker Lucius.
I would have left him there, found Lucius, beat him, come back and drag him to Skyhold. If something happens on the way, then we deal with it. If something happens there, we deal with it. It's a demon. How many do we fight? Fight dozens. You can deal with one. I like being invisible, they can't see me.
Lord Seeker Lucius.
Cassandra, with a woman I can only assume is the new Inquisitor.
And you're the man who betrayed his own order.
I presume you know we Seekers of Truth were once the original Inquisition. Oh yes. We fought to restore order in a time of madness long ago, as you do now. And we became proud. We sought to remake the world, to make it better. But what did we create? The Chantry, the Circles of Magi. A war that will see no end.
And aiding Corypheus is supposed to help?
Corypheus is a monster with limited ambition.
And your ambition is so much greater.
We Seekers are abominations, Cassandra. We created a decaying world and fought to preserve it even as it crumbled. We had to be stopped. You don't believe me? See for yourself. The secrets of our order passed to me after the former Lord Seeker was slain. The war with the mages had already begun, but it was not too late for me to do the right thing.
And this was the right thing.
Lord Seeker, what you've done...
I know. What Corypheus did with the Templars does not matter. I have seen the future. I have created a new order to replace the old. The world will end so we can start anew. A pure beginning. Join us, Cassandra. It is the Maker's will.
He was insane. He had to be. The influence of Corypheus, perhaps? Was he trying to disable the Seekers?
All these wasted lives.
He could not have destroyed all of us. I won't accept it. Let us return to Skyhold. I wish to see what's in this book of secrets. This tome has passed from Lord Seeker to Lord Seeker, since the time of the Old Inquisition. And now it falls to me.
Are you all right? You look drained.
I assume you know about the Rite of Tranquility. The last resort used on mages in the Circle, leaving them unable to cast, but depriving them of dreams and all emotion. It should only be used on those who cannot control their abilities, but that has not always been the case.
Does the book say it was used for other things?
No. As a Seeker, I looked into abuses. Mages made Tranquil as punishment. What finally began the Mage Rebellion was the discovery the Rite of Tranquility could be reversed. The Lord Seeker at the time covered it up, harshly. There were deaths. It was dangerous knowledge, the shock of its discovery in addition to what happened in Kirkwall. But it appears we've always known how to reverse the Rite, from the beginning.
Why keep that knowledge a secret?
We created the Rite of Tranquility. I told you of my vigil, the months I spent emptying myself of all emotion. I was made tranquil, and didn't even know. Then the vigil summoned the spirit of faith to touch my mind. That broke tranquility, and gave me my abilities. The Seekers did not share that secret. Not with me, not with the Chantry, not even with... There's more. Lucius was not wrong about the Order. I thought to rebuild the Seekers once victory was ours. Now I'm not certain it deserves to be rebuilt.
Make it better.
You said there was more in the book.
At some point, power becomes its own master. We cast aside ideals in favor of expedience, and tell ourselves it was all necessary for the people. Will that happen to us, Inquisitor? Will we repeat history?
I can't foresee the future, Cassandra.
But we know the past. Those who do not heed history are doomed to repeat it.
And we do tend to repeat history in some way a lot.
I don't think I've ever seen you so shaken.
I do not think the Seekers have been doing the Maker's work. Not truly. Perhaps we believed it once. The original Inquisition came to be during a terrible time. But now, we harbored secrets and let them fester. We acted to survive, but not to serve. That is not the Maker's work.
If you did rebuild the Seekers, how would you do it?
I can't be the only one remaining. We will always spread to the winds, and some may still be out there. I would find them one by one. We would all read this book, no more secrets. Then together we would establish a new charter. The Maker's work in truth.
See, I like that idea.
You keep saying that, but what is the Maker's work?
There is no way to know for certain. That is why we must seek it out. Perhaps we lost our way because we stopped looking.
Rebuild the Seekers. Make them better than they were.
Thank you. I could not have done this on my own.
She'd be a good leader. I think she'd do a good work for the Seekers.
Hello again.
Do you have any advice for me?
Nothing that you could not think of yourself, Inquisitor.
That's enough for...
Okay, well, got nothing there. She has nothing else to say, so I'm going to go to the war table and catch up on some of those. I just realised I've got to sentence that guy.
Inquisitor.
When I saw this, I've got to sentence him. Should I do it now or war table first? Oh, let's just do it now.
Mayor Gregory Dedrick of Crestwood is present for betraying his own constituents. He confesses that, 10 years ago, he flooded Old Crestwood to kill refugees and villagers touched by the Blight. The mayor claims it was to spare the rest of Crestwood, but we only have his word.
See, this is awkward. He was trying to save people, that's why he did it. Well, I believe that's why he did it. I don't think he did it out of being evil or malicious or anything. He just didn't know what else to do.
If the mayor has anything to say in his defense, let him speak.
There's no cure for the Blight. But I couldn't convince anyone to leave a sick child or husband behind.
So you herded the infected into one place and flooded Old Crestwood. Were no innocents caught in the waters?
Nearly everyone in the village had the Blight. I swear it. Have mercy. I couldn't tell the survivors had drowned their own families to save them. I couldn't.
See, I agree with him. I mean, if it's a sickness that can't be cured and it spreads, what are you going to do? But, I don't know, murder is just murder isn't the way, but what else can you do? Especially back in those times. I don't know, this is hard.
You committed murder on Ferelden's soil. Let them deal with your punishment. Send him to Denerim. He can live the rest of his life behind their bars.
In prison? Maker. I should have drowned with them.
more people approved of that option. I originally exiled him, and I thought it was a bit harsh. So I just reloaded it and chose prison. But more people approved the prison than exile. But exile seems friendlier. Oh, I don't know. So I might just stick with that one because I'm not executing him, no way. I only have 3 options: execution, prison, or exile. More people approved of prison than exile, so I might do that. I really don't want to kill him. These judgments are hard.
Vague and moved on quickly.
I told you their ways are so haven. Look what happened there.
I am more worried about who attacked them and why.
Who cares? The Chantry declared them heathens. An attack was just a matter of
Here's a
time.
letter from Ellery. He's safe with his family in the Dales.
I intend to supply the Inquisition. They need our help.
Sponsor the Duparakets as a family deserving of a noble title, Inquisitor. You have my word. Now please forgive my hastiness, but I must read Ellerly's words. Make her keep you. Inquisitor!
What the hell?
What happened here?
The House of Repose decided to pay a visit. The guards arrived in time, but I should have guessed the assassins would infiltrate the servants.
Are you sure they didn't hurt you?
They only frightened me. It was all so sudden. Leliana assigned people to shadow me. They appear to have saved my life. I owe you everything, Sergeant.
Only my duty, Ambassador. I'll talk with the spy master about these murderous louts. She'll find how they got in.
Any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
Bloody hell.
What's the next favor we need to get these Duparakets a lordship?
We need a judge of the royal court to procure documents acknowledging them as nobility again.
Yeah, I think I can do that now.
My scouts report no signs of danger in the pass nearby.
I will arrange patrols to ensure it stays that way.
Inquisitor?
Okay, Joseph's now doing... not Joseph, sorry. Josephine is now doing her judge quest bit, so I can't really move on to that in another 15 minutes. Well, seeing as it's only 15 minutes away, I might just go around and talk and see if anyone wants to say anything new.
Worship?
I've got a minute if you need something.
What are your thoughts on the Inquisition?
If there's anybody out there who hasn't joined the Inquisition, they're hiding under a rock. Did you want to take over Ferelden? I think we might be able to conquer it just by looking east.
Are we really that big now?
How do you think Josephine is handling the job of ambassador?
If this Inquisition thing doesn't work out, I may hire her to deal with the Merchants Guild. She'd own them before breakfast.
What do you think of Leliana's work?
Do you want to know what the Arashok had for breakfast this morning? I think she can tell you.
And she's good.
What do you think of our general?
He's been insufferably smug lately. You might want to tell him to watch his back. I think Liliana might shiv him.
What could the Templars want with it?
In Kirkwall, just having the Lyrium idol made Knight Commander Meredith impossibly strong. Before it turned her into a Lyrium statue, anyway. Maybe they thought the power was worth it, or maybe they didn't know the consequences.
I've seen it infect people like a disease and turn them to lyrium. How can it do that?
That's a good question. To tell the truth, we don't really know what that shit can do to a person. And I don't want to find out.
I think that's enough on red lyrium.
Yeah, not really my favorite subject.
Okay, he says a little bit more than he usually does, but not much.
You've made such intriguing design choices for the castle, my dear. They must be inspired.
This is the first time Vivian has bothered talking to me since I've been a Skyhold. Take her long enough. What's going on? Josephine picks everything. Actually, she didn't. I actually picked the Inquisition stuff. I actually changed some stuff. It was actually Josephine and meeting.
Thank you, Vivian. I'm glad you approve.
When things have settled down a bit, I will take you to Valroyo and introduce you to my seamstress. And appearances are important. We can't have you mistaken for a commoner.
I can't let them think Andraste's herald is hung up on material things.
Of course not, my dear. But you also can't allow the powers of the land to think you run this organization on prayer alone. You command an army of the faithful, outfitted by the coin of the nobility. You must be a woman who commoners aspire to be, and to whom nobles bow.
That's quite a lot for one person to pull off, don't you think?
It is a challenge all great leaders must face, Inquisitor. The stories of your accomplishments will spread, and with them, doubt. Are you truly the woman from the tales? They will question what they've heard, but they will believe what they see. They must see someone greater than legends.
If that's your standard for me, what does the Divine have to live up to?
Andraste and the Maker cast very large shadows. The Divine absolutely must set the example for all Thedas. She must seem to be the embodiment of the Maker to the faithful. She needs the authority of the Maker and the charisma of Andraste. It will be no small task to fill that vacant throne. Did you need something, darling?
What are your thoughts about the others in the Inquisition?
Whether Cole is a spirit or a demon is irrelevant. Neither can be trusted, my dear. Remember that. Sarah is certainly a colorful character. Like a poisonous toad, only without the manners.
Oh.
Our dear Lord Dorian is very sure of himself, isn't he? Let's hope he doesn't get his confidence crushed.
Let's hope, or are you wishing for that?
How may I help you? I admire Cassandra's determination. If she had a little charm, she could be a remarkable leader.
I think she is a very good leader.
Did you need something, darling? I don't know what to make of Solus. So much knowledge and so little personal history. I find that peculiar, don't you?
She has a point in that one.
What exactly is Varric's role in the Inquisition? Aside from irritating Cassandra.
Oh, so look.
Did you need something, darling?
She's very bitchy. Okay, apparently I have to go see Josephine. And then I'm guessing she's going to give me another quest to do on the war table.
Any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
What's the next favor we need to get these two parakeets a lordship?
We must persuade Minister Belize to ratify the papers. She's in charge of these matters of rank. The minister will be at a small fete thrown by the Marquis Wiscott. I'll get you an invitation.
Okay, so there we go. So now we just need to put that on the war table, and then I can carry on with something else, and then come back to this.
I've arranged an accord between the Marquis and the Dowager.
Wonder of wonders. Perhaps they can be useful to us after all.
If it was abandoned when we arrived, who named this place Skyhold?
Solus says it changed hands so many times, the original builders can't be traced.
I read the House of Armitage once built a fortress in the vicinity 5 ages ago, but the records are lost. Let us begin.
Okay, so she should be going in 15 minutes as well.
Any news on rifts beyond reach of the Inquisition?
Yes, and it is not good.
Inquisitor.
Scout Harding.
We're on the outskirts of Sarnia. This is what's left of the town. The lucky ones got out before the river froze over. The rest, penned in by Fade Rifts and Red Templars. We're the first friendly face they've seen in a long, long while.
How did an entire river freeze so quickly?
It got really cold, really quickly. Sarnia relies on its river for everything. Trade, food. They weren't expecting this.
Do you know why the Red Templars have come here?
Can't tell you much. The Templars have outposts all through the hills. Our scouts haven't been able to get through. It probably has something to do with the local stone quarry, though. A lot of the workers went missing after the Red Templars moved in.
I should look in on the townsfolk, see what they can tell me.
I'm sure they'll appreciate it. The Red Templars have been mounting frequent attacks. They won Emprise de Lyon. Bad. Let's get out there and take it back from them.
Oh, come lad. I have dried beans and radishes. It's not much, but with last week's salt pork, it makes a meal.
Thank you, madame.
Ah, the Inquisition.
That was generous of you.
I do what I can. I am partly to blame for all this. The Red Templars are here because, fool that I am, I sold them my family's quarry. They've taken every worker. We haven't seen them in weeks. And it's not enough. They keep coming, taking more people. And there's nothing I can do to stop them.
How could you have sold land to the Red Templars?
I didn't know. I swear by Andraste's buyer. They looked like knights, chevaliers. Such pretty speeches. They said they would reopen the quarry, bring employment and trade back to Sarnia. We'd been struggling since the war began. How could I refuse? It was good for a time. People went to work, they were paid. Then they stopped coming home. After that, the Red Templars stopped pretending.
What do you mean the Red Templars take workers?
People just disappear. First those who worked the quarry, then they took people from their homes. I don't know why. I just prayed they'd leave me and my family alone.
Michel de Chauvin at your service, your worship. I saw the Inquisition's banners from afar. Never expected to see the Herald of Andraste herself.
Sir Michel de Chauvin?
No longer a champion. No longer sir.
Are you here to guard the people?
As much as I can, although this was not my original intention. I hunt a demon. This one calls itself Imshale, and has settled in Suladin Keep, up in the hills. Imshale is free because I made a mistake. I will see him destroyed. Now that the Inquisition is here, perhaps the Red Templars who guard the keep can be routed. All I need is one chance.
I need to know more about Imshale.
A desire demon, more cunning than anything I have encountered. And I have played the game. Imshale has roamed the land for some time. If anything, he will have grown in power. Why he is here in Emprise de Lyon, however, is anyone's guess. Perhaps he has gained the cooperation of the Red Templars, or vice versa.
What's in Suladin Keep?
Red Templars, so far as I can tell. Suladin is an elven fortress, left to crumble. The locals always avoided it, believing it the haunt of ancient elven spirits.
You know where the demon is. Why wait?
I am but one man. Suladin Keep is guarded by Red Templars. While I would happily give my life for this, I would not give it in vain.
You were the Empress's champion?
Champion, protector, perhaps once even a friend. But I am now disgraced. The Empress wants nothing to do with me, and I cannot blame her. Despite all, I have a strong arm, a stout heart, and I still serve Ole.
You could serve the Inquisition. We have use for strong arms and stout hearts.
No, not until Imshale is defeated.
More red lyrium. Ugh, I'm sick of this shit.
I think a lot of us are.
How far will this lyrium spread?
Probably all over if it's not stopped. Oh crap. Get rid of this one first. Ugh.
This is one of the mages I spoke of. It's over. Thank you for bringing us here.
All right, worst thing you've ever eaten. I had this imported ham from Anderfell's once. It tasted like despair, literally.
But you probably got to wash it down with an expensive wine. Mine was 2-year-old hardtack. You can't scrape off the blue anymore. You just try not to look.
Both sound delicious. I remember that ham of despair in Dragon Age 2. In the DLC, my hawk was offered it. Yeah, no thanks.
These red lyrium growths are warm.
I'd rather be cold than touch that stuff. Could you be a little more gentle the next time we spar, Cassandra?
Why? You can take it?
Yes, but I'd rather not.
I did not realize you were made of glass.
Bruised glass, thank you.
Oh crap, I see a big one. Quick, finish him, finish him, finish him. Until the big one gets you. Okay, there goes the big one. Did you really just run all the way around to get to him? He was jumping up anyway. All you had to do is waste the bottom.
Nothing to report, sir.
Shares your reserved nature, Blackwood. It must be a common trait among wardens.
You find me reserved?
At times.
I was aiming for aloof.
Keep trying. I'm certain you'll get there.
Those two seem to like each other. At the moment. They do tend, when they talk to each other, they do seem a bit, comfortable with each other. So I actually think Blackwall actually has a bit of a I don't know, but I think if Blackwall isn't romanced, I think it's a bit of a thing for Cassandra. Not sure, but they do, like I said, they do sound comfortable with each other.
Templar lieutenants are in the quarry. This won't stop until they're dead. Did you really think the Conclave had a chance of making peace, Seeker?
You do not?
What was the Divine's plan? Bring everyone together and hope really hard they would all get along?
Most Holy did not confide her plan to me. Perhaps she thought they were tired of death and conflict.
Now, when has that ever been true? For Templars or mages?
I will not mock a dead woman, Varric. She did what she could, and that is more than most.
True.
Break the locks, please! Are all the cages open?
have you looked everywhere? They took so many of us. Have you freed everyone? You have to help us. They'll turn us into those things.
She did what to the Duc de Freyen?
Oh, it's a Sarah.
He's demanding an explanation. And a new stateroom. Give him a room on the other wing. I will speak to him. And Sarah.
I knew it. Okay, well, I'm going to quickly do Sarah's quest. Sarah, sorry, Josephine's.
Any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
What's the next favor we need to get these Duparakets a lordship?
We must persuade Minister Belize to ratify the papers. She's in charge of these matters of rank. The minister will be at a small fete thrown by the Marquis Wiscott. I'll get you an invitation.
Thank you for seeing me in private, Minister Belize.
I chastise you for taking me from the party, Inquisitor, but the Marquis throws such dull affairs. It's hardly worth it. I assume you wish to discuss your petition to elevate these Duparakets to a minor lordship. Tell me, why should I allow you to pollute the Orlesian nobility any further than it's already been muddled?
The Duparakets used to be noble. You'd be restoring an old house of Orlais.
Restoring it far too late. What are the Duparakets now? Traders? Farmers? Really, it is too much. The very thought causes me pain. What can you possibly provide that will make your petition worth my effort?
Information. Unless you believe your sources better than agents of the Inquisition.
Normally, I wouldn't trust your discretion. But the left hand of the Divine is working for you, is she not?
I know it.
Sister Leliana is a resourceful woman. I could certainly make use of her talents. Very well, Inquisitor. Should you fulfill this bargain, I shall raise the Duparakets into lordship.
I received a letter from the House of Repose, Your Worship. They acknowledge their contract is null and void. There is no longer a price on my life. They also send their compliments on how handily you dispatched their agent pretending to be the Comte.
I'm glad you don't have to live your life looking over your shoulder anymore.
I regret we were forced to deal with them, that you were endangered by my part in the game. Did I ever mention I used to be a bard?
You were a singer?
Bards entertain the Orlesian court. They sing, play music, make charming conversation, and spy. Many young nobles put on a mask and practice playing the game in such a fashion.
What made you interested in becoming a bard?
I was attending a university in Valroyo when I learned about bards. There was such an air of romance about them. Stories of secrets, trysts, and fascinating people. A group of us, young gentry from Antiva, decided this exciting life was for us.
You seem a bit steady for such an outgoing lifestyle.
The life of an entertainer didn't suit me at all. During one particular intrigue, I encountered a bard sent to kill my patron. We fought. Or perhaps scrapped is the better word. Both of us terrified. We were at the top of a steep flight of stairs. The other bard threw a knife, and I pushed him away from me. You can imagine the result.
You were only defending yourself.
But it was such a waste, Inquisitor. When I took off his mask, I knew him. We'd attended parties together. If I'd stopped to reason, if I'd used my voice instead of scuffling like a common thug, I'll always wonder who that young man would have grown into.
You of all people should know you can't play the game without bloodshed.
Never as the first resort, Inquisitor. Never as a way that makes currency of lives. In all the commotion... forgive me, I don't believe I ever thanked you for helping me with this.
Hold on to it. Don't lose sight of why you came here.
I will never forget you helped save the House of Montilyet, Inquisitor. And should you ever visit Antiva, stories of the welcome we'll give you will be told for years. What did the Seeker say?
Lady Cassandra feels her connections with the Navarran court wouldn't be of use, my lady.
Of course she does. A pleasure.
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
Lord Nadovino of Antiva, a friend of my family not normally given to politics.
How did you get him to support the Inquisition?
Antivan are touched by worthy deeds, Inquisitor. I impressed him with the rightness of our cause. I also promised him 40 bottles from our wine cellar. He's had his eye on the Tevinter ports for years.
Right, okay, so I've done part of... what was it called again? Empress de Leon. I've done part of that map. And I've helped Josephine, done a couple more missions on the war table. I don't really have much left here. It's just mainly on that map. But I've been playing for about 4 hours now, so it's time for me to get off. Yeah, when I come back, I'll just finish the map. Oh, Liliana now? Oh, screw it, she's going to just wait. I'll do it when I come back. Anyway, you've been watching, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!